Are you hands up in the air? I just want the best.
So, you guys are probably wondering, why is this guy doom scrolling? This video says how to be creative, or his thought process, whatever I fucking call this video. I was doom scrolling because this is my thought process. This is what I do. I'm like a little kid, bro, with zero attention span, and what I have to do is get stimulated by watching edits, bro. There's like multiple methods to getting inspiration. I just didn't include it into the intro because it would be too long, but this will go through my thought process with editing. I'll show you guys examples. I'll show you some of my scrapped project files, and let's get straight into it. Now, before we go into this, this is not the way to go. This is just how I do it. I know other people do different methods. This is how I do it. This is how I pump out edits. This is how I do my videos. This is how I do everything. So yeah. So now this first method, is the storyboard method. If you ever have an idea in your head when listening to a song or with the scene, and you don't want to forget it, you storyboard it. But this edit got scrapped because I got burnt out and I didn't know how to execute anything at the time. So yeah, this was supposed to be a huge mix that I was supposed to do to breakcore, but it never saw the light of day. Alright, for the second method, you see I'm in my browser. This is IBing. So before I show you a video, what I'll say is, when using IB or when you're making an edit, make sure to take something from it. Don't just make the edit and then toss the knowledge out. That's not how you learn. You want to implement what you did in the edit into something else. So for example, if I went to this edit, so one takeaway if I remade this edit would be his framers. His framers are super unique, helps flow the edit. Right. It might be the framers or it might be the effects he uses, but you do that. Or if I remade this edit, I might take away the super cool shake he did in this right here, or the remap he did on this clip, stuff like that. So when IBing, you always want to take away from it. So usually when I see something super cool, I implement it in my edit, and I make sure I do that for all of my edits, especially if it worked out well. But yeah, one thing I'll say when I scene select and I pick what I choose to edit, one thing I'll say is when I look in an anime, I look at something that could either be used by itself. So this train scene that could be used by itself, or a scene that's stationary but has movement. So this guy looking back, or this guy looking upwards, stuff like that. Stuff that can easily be remappable. So like him smiling, or this screen right here. I'm not looking for something that has crazy visuals and that has 1 million warps. That's what I go through with my scene selecting. Like, you won't see me editing a fight scene. Like, that's just not what I do. I never edit a fight scene ever. Yeah, that's what I do. Alright, now sorry for wasting your time, because clearly before all of this I went out of order. But everything before this was useful. I definitely think everything before this is useful. But now I'll actually go through the steps that I go through. And first, I go with the song. I don't go for the anime because that goes through some conflicts and, messes me up. So, when I'm looking for a song, I put this in my tips tutorial, like way back when. I particularly don't go for a song made like an edit made by someone, because whenever I think of that song, I will automatically go to how they paced the song, and it'll ruin whatever I do, because at that point I'm just IBing them. So whenever you find a song, obviously, I have like niche picks for songs, but pick a song that you like. It doesn't need to be something someone forced upon you. So this could be a song you could edit. But another thing is, when I look at a song, I don't like when the beat repeats, because at that point, once you get to that halfway point where the beat repeats, it's like it's hard to pace it, because your brain automatically goes to, oh, I've edited this beat before, let me do the same thing. That will ruin your mental, that will ruin everything. So that usually messes me up. Or sometimes I like preferring songs with words in it. It's kind of hard, but there's pros and cons to editing songs without words and editing songs with words. um it's much easier, in my opinion, to edit a word of songs faster, just because a song with words in it like already portrays like a feeling. Songs without words is easier to maneuver. So right, he's talking about judging scars or whatever. So particularly, you would edit an anime that's sad, so silent voice, stuff like that. you know it's easy to link two animes, or an anime and a song together if there's words. So whenever I do an HC, I do songs with words. It's much easier. And yeah, now for the anime part, there's two ways to do this. One way is the way I like it, is I first go to my anime website, right? And particularly is the anime that I edit is the one I've watched recently and I've completed, because I know all the episodes that are good, that are edible, that stuff like that. So I've recently watched the new season of Reincarnated as a Slime. I might edit that. But then this is what comes in to play, is some animes are not good for editing. So no one is editing Invincible because there's literally no animation in there. You want an anime that has decent enough frames to edit, but also has cinematic value. So Free Run is a good example. Those scenes are amazing. Those have really good cinematic things. JJK has good animation, stuff like that. That's why they're edited so much. But you know, that's why I go for niche animes that have, you know, the good the good frames. So Bongo Stray Dogs is a good one. Nisekoi is also a good one. Terran Resonance, you know, all of these animes have, you know, good enough frames. The second way is to just go off an edit. If I saw an edit that, you know, was good and, you know, I wanted to use that anime, you know, I'd do that. So a good example is Flip Flappers by Kyoshia. Like this is a good edit, and it looks editable. So, you know, I'd edit this. All right, now we'll go on the scene selecting part, but this time I'm not gonna show a project file because I quite literally do not have any AMV project files going on right now. All I have is a CS edit I'm making. So I'll just show you previous scraps I've done. Whenever I scene select, especially when I'm in a rush or if I, you know, want to get that over with, is match cuts. Match cuts are probably the thing I abuse the most. Match cut. This is a match cut, but I force it because I implement a second sun here, or in this case a moon. Right here, match cut. Right. The guy right here, match cut into this one. And then I just let the clips flow. Editing shouldn't be crazy transitions. You don't need a crazy transition every frame. Especially when you're pasting an edit, you don't want the start to have crazy ass effects, because it should only have crazy ass effects when the climax of the edit happens. That's when you want to, you know, do a transition on everything. Let's see another edit. Match cut right here. See, this scene does not have this you know, white thing here, but this is a stationary scene where she moves left or right to left. So then I use that to transition here, because this side had a white, you know, white gradient, and she's looking over there. So this movement is good. And all I do is you know, I zoom in the clips. Yeah. See, I force a lot of match cuts because match cuts are probably the easiest things to do and are probably, you know, a good way to, you know, force a transition if you don't know what transition to do. So, right, match cut. Especially when you match cut, you know, it's good because there's unique ways to do it. So here, it's not particularly a match cut, but since I implemented this text, it flows well because, you know, I implement it right here and it stays on this other one. Now this isn't particularly a match cut because, you know, the scene is totally different, but, you know, I kept the graphic and, you know, keeps their attention. Another thing is he blows gust of wind or whatever you want to call it, and you know it's going right. So then I have this scene where she's running right, and then I slide here. I slide here left to right. This is a stationary clip, but you know, I just zoom it out afterwards. So yeah, that's how I scene select. It's not hard. You just gotta, you know what to flow. You gotta know what movement goes well. Alright. Now for my effects, because I'm gonna skip transitions for this part, is for my style, I like to do MoGraph. So a good example for that, would have to be this. So in this edit, I include my MoGraph. And one thing when I say this to everyone, is if you're gonna do a very flashy effect or a very noticeable effect that will have a mark on the viewer, do it on everything on the edit, so it doesn't seem inconsistent. So if I'm introducing this really cool graphic with animation to the viewer, that's gonna leave a mark on their brain about my edit, I'm going to include some sort of animated graphic in my edit, and that's what I do. So here we go. Right. So let me show the better one. Yeah. So here I animate this graphic, and you know it helps the edit. You know, it gives it that unique touch, right? Stuff like that is how you need to execute your effects. Let me show you another one. Now for more basic edits, so this, for example. So for edits like this, there's no like physical stamp of an effect. There's no uniqueness to this. It's just basic slides and everything. But that's what makes it much easier. So edits like this, you more focus on basics. There's no effects here that are too noticeable. Maybe the framers are what you need to keep. But stuff like that. That's why, you know, you gotta focus on stuff. So like this remake that I did of Ikawa's edit, there's a reason why Ikawa keeps the MoGraph in the edit throughout the whole entire thing, because without it it's gonna look inconsistent. It's just gonna look random. Like if I just put this in my edit and then just did like a basic edit after that, the whole edit would look weird. Now, this is a side note. I did skip time remap and I skipped color correction, but color correction is already its own, you know, video that I made. Color correction is the step I do literally right after my time remap. But time remap, if you want time remap and all that, I'll put it in another video. But there's kind of no point, because time remap is like, it's something you acquire over time. It's not something you just take from a video, because everyone has unique time remapping, and time remapping takes failure and that to build, you know, good basics. Editing you can't rush. So yeah.